Rebel with a cause. BK all day, baby. It's Rebel season. The real rebels are back. I got the mind of a king. You should really protect them. Everybody talking, but Rebel really the next. I got the mind of a king. Spread to never take this. Slavery, fake hip hop, you dead if you were racist. I got the mind of a king. You could never replace this. Blood from the mud, no love, so I'ma say I got the mind of a king. I know where I am from now. I'ma wake 'em up, you keep them sleep, it's up to me. I got the mind of a king. Black African Power, welcome back to Rebels Roundtable. I'm Rebel with a cause.
And I'm KENWARDO, I kill.
And this is Rebels Roundtable. What's good, King?
I'm just chilling, man. Chilling, man. We got some dope guests on the show. Before we start the show, I want to say, man, you know, free the brother Larry Hoover. That man, 71 years old. He was locked up for 49 years. And, you know, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. You know, you have people that committed murders and whatever, and got less time to hear. Let that man come to his family. He a political prisoner. Free Larry Hoover. That man, 71 years old. Let him enjoy the rest of his life with his family.
Although it's foul, the real reason Larry Hoover and brothers like that don't get out is because they got so much influence in the streets.
Right. Of course.
Them boys will listen to Larry Hoover, tell him to kill or be good. And they don't want both.
No, you know what piss me off? Man, yeah, they locked him up. They got him up under the RICO. So, you know, you could say gangster disciple. You commit a crime under the gangster disciple organization, and they charged it to him. That's why he locked up.
Nah, that's why Gotti died in jail, because they gave him all the kills. Now, Jimmy the Bull was like, yeah, I was murking him.
Yeah.
They gave all that to Gotti, man. It's who send it. It's on that level. It's who send the kill, because they'll pardon the murderer. Because if you could even send people to kill like that, you too powerful to them.
Well, you know why?
Rather get him than the killer.
Well, you know why? What's the last President Trump gave him a pardon?
I know.
They still won't let that man out.
He respect that shit.
Yeah, Trump gave Hoover a pardon, man. That's why Kanye West was kicking it with Trump.
Yeah, but the pardon was to do what?
To get him out, let him free.
Is it to let him free or to bring up his parole again?
No, it wasn't to bring up his parole. Was up. It was due to schedule to come up.
Nah, because when the president pardon you, you're supposed to go free. Like
yeah, it must have been the first thing. Yeah, it must have been the first thing, man, for him to get a parole in.
It got to be the parole, because if he got pardoned, I thought everybody comes straight out of jail the second they hear about that bitch. Like that's the highest. Yeah. That's the highest pardon you could get. So they let you straight out of jail.
All right. My phone on mute, my fault.
Nah, we good money. What's tonight's show about?
Man, we got the sister, Neeta Black. We got the sister, Nisa Shabazz, our original Black Panthers. And they gonna kick the black codes down to us, you know, tonight. So this gonna be a cold show, powerful show we gonna build.
Yeah. KENWARDO got the list. He gonna bring it to him. They gonna explain it. I see some things on my screen right here. So I guess what everybody talking about. If I can match it myself, and I'll throw in what I think. Or I might just listen. I got my pen and pad right here.
Let's go listen. So everybody out there, YouTube land, like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell as well to Rebel Vision Television.
And August is going to be the month of Think Champs. Every night, Think Champs is coming on. I figured that's how I could get the seasons out. That'll be 3 seasons in 1 month.
Dope, man.
Only 10 episodes. So y'all can catch up to our Think Champs. And, you know, the next month, 2 weeks, and then we right where we at in real time.
Right.
So everything will be caught up. So everybody got the cue. So they should be popping in any minute.
Cool.
But yeah, we're gonna do another Flag Armada real soon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, tell them about that, Brother Rebel.
Yeah, we gonna have way more brothers and sisters with us this time. We might even have the motorcycle club with us.
Yeah, it'll be dope, man. The motorcycle club come through.
And we gonna talk John into broadening the parade route. You know?
Yeah.
We might as well thug until the cops tell us not to.
Yeah, we're gonna do a different route this time. We're gonna do a longer route.
Yeah, let's go where we know people is at.
We gonna go all the way down to Cascade this time, man. We got the AU Center again, Morehouse and Clark and all them down there, West End. Yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to put a little video at the end of this video.
Right. Oh yeah.
Our last event, the free food cookout.
Right.
What park was that? Oh, he muted. Why you muted up? But salute to everybody in that park, in the West End, in the barbershop. I think 1 or 2 of them came over, so that was cool. Can I have one more of these, baby?
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, and Queen's Law is coming soon, too. I know. We've been prepping y'all, but they getting it together. So Queen's Law will be here. Rebel Radio. I'm lining up the music, too. So it's going to be a real radio station. It's going to be, you got to listen to music. So I don't want you to see these artists. I want you to see these artists in your mind. So just like back in our day, there wasn't no video early. But what I'm saying is, even though there was videos, the radio or your tapes or your CDs, you visualizing the song. So that's what I want people to get back into, so you could really know which artist is an artist. We got to bring the levels back. Well, yo, what's the park we did the event in?
Oh yeah, we did our community feed. That was dope, man. I like that, man. We ain't got now. That's Highway Park.
Who?
Right on Ralph David Abernathy, right across the street from Prince Shop.
What's the name of the park again?
Highway Park. HOWELL Park. Highway Park. Howell Park.
Howell Park. It's probably pronounced Howell. Yeah,
Howell Park.
Salute to the family that was walking through. Okay, and look, we fed everybody.
Right.
No discrimination.
Right.
Some people might say, you know, we talk a lot about the homosexual new population. A few of them came on the line. It was nothing. It's not about that.
Yeah.
When the stomach ain't full. When everybody 50-50, then we could walk.
Right.
But, you know, yeah, I can't wait till tonight, though. They be on in a second.
Yeah, they pop in a second.
Yeah, this show brought to you by Kingdom of Melanin. You'll get your RBG duffel bag. This my people's. I had this bag for years, but They got real ill bags. Queens, Kings, All Science. Go get your duffels now.
Right.
Kingdom of Melanin.
Check out True Detergent right here. Black on. They got the fabric softener as well. You know, you can look them up. True on Instagram, Facebook. Their website is true.com. They're on the We by Black website. Go there and get it. You can also come to Sun God Essence, your one-stop natural shop. Come get it from us. True, black on. You got the fabric softening, fabric detergent and all that.
Yes,
black on. Support black businesses, y'all.
For real, for real. We could if we wanted to, we could almost replace everything we buy right now.
Right.
We got it all. The water to the makeup. For the women, it's all natural. It's not
right. Yep. Get it all.
The clothes. We got the kicks. We got the jewelry.
We got the umbrellas.
We got the umbrellas. Goat's umbrellas coming soon. This Ancient Chemistry one though.
Ancient Chemistry in the house.
Vision.com. Come get your your Shep suit umbrella. RBG joints. But yeah, we could look, we got the detergent, we got toothbrushes, we got socks.
Yep, socks, those socks.
Ancient Chemistry boxes coming soon, but I'm sure somebody got underwear.
Yeah.
But our boxes is coming soon. Spandex joints. Y'all gonna love them. We got the warrior Obasi in the building.
Brother Obasi, what's going on, Brother Obasi?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? How you be?
Yeah, I be, man. I be.
That's right.
Black Power, King. I think this is them. So let's get it.
Let's get it.
Now the round table, dude.
Sister Nisa Shabazz.
Peace to the queens of the community.
Black Power.
Black Power sisters.
Power sister.
Guess who I have in the building tonight?
Uh-oh.
Who you have in the building, sister?
Sister Neeta, Black Power Black.
Sister Neeta, Black Power Black.
Black Power.
Greetings, sister.
Power.
Hey.
Greetings, sister.
Yeah.
Hey,
So we gonna start off, you know. We're gonna start off introduce ourselves and give us a brief description of what y'all about, who y'all are. Then we're gonna get into these back codes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let my mentor and my advisor go first. Okay, well, she wants me to go first. Well, I'm Sister Nisa Shabazz from New York. I came here about 15 years ago, and they're like, well, you know, you're a part of Atlanta now. You're a peach. I'm like, no, I will always be an apple. You know, right. So when I got down here, I hit the ground running, got suited and booted. And this is all I know is blackness and black power. And I'm just so happy to be a part of the family, you know, because, you know, we got the same Earth Day.
Yep.
You know, but I'm just so happy that you all have brought us in to be a part of the family. We look forward to, you know, doing a lot of things in the future.
That's right.
So talk to the priest today. So we will be going to Lake Lanier so we can get some stuff straight down there with the ancestors, you know, so, right. But, you know, we just love y'all. It's all black love.
We love y'all too, sister. You already know.
Yes, sir.
Our next Earth Day, we need to celebrate.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to do a big Black Power party right down in Buckhead. We're going to have a parade. We're going to have our Earth Day is going to be a national holiday since they made Juneteenth one. So I want our Earth Day to be a national holiday too.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, Ms. Nita is here.
All power to the people.
Black.
All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Most people don't really know who I am, so we're gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna read P.W. both if y'all have time. It takes me about 1 minute.
Oh, no problem.
So let me know when you're ready for me to do that.
Anything.
But everybody know I'm Nita Black. I run a Black Panther school.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, just let me know if we can chime in.
We go ahead and start now. I want to get off into this calendar you created, the Black Codes.
Understanding Black codes is a lot easier to do when you understand Willie Lynch and P.W. both. And most Black people know about Willie Lynch. So we're going to make sure that anybody that don't know P.W. Botha will know by the time I'm done. All right, this is a speech P.W. Botha did on August 18th, 1985, which means Black folks had a lot of years in order to get ready for this. Pretoria has been made by the white mind for the white man. We are not obliged, even the least, to try to prove to anybody and to the Blacks that we are superior people. We have demonstrated that to the Blacks in 1,001 ways. The Republic of South Africa that we know today has not been created by wishful thinking. We have created it at the expense of intelligence, sweat, and blood. We are the Afrikaneers, or were the Afrikaneers who tried to eliminate the Australian Aborigine? Are the Afrikaneers who discriminated against Blacks and called them the Nig word in the United States? Or were the Afrikaneers who started the slave trade? Where is the Black man appreciated? England discriminates against its Black, and with their Seuss laws their Seuss laws are out to discipline the Blacks. Canada, France, Russia, and Japan all play their discrimination too. Why in the heck then is so much noise made about us? Why are they biased against us? We are simply trying to prove to you that there is nothing unusual we are doing, that the so-called civilized world is not doing. We are simply honest white people who have come out loud with a clear philosophy of how we want to live our own white life. We do not pretend like other whites that we like the Black. In fact, the fact that Blacks look like human beings and act like human beings do not necessarily make them sensible human beings. Hedgehogs are not porcupines and lizards are not crocodiles simply because they look alike. If God wanted us to be equal to the Black, he would have created us all of a uniform color and intellect. But he created us differently, whites, Black, yellows, rulers, and the ruled. Intellectually, we are superior to the Blacks. That has been proven beyond any reasonable doubt over the years. I believe that the Afrikaner is an honest, God-fearing person who has demonstrated practically the right way of being. Nevertheless, it is comforting to know that behind the scenes, Europe, America, Canada, Australia, and all others are behind us in spite of what they say. For diplomatic relations, we all know what language should be used and where. To prove my point, comrades, does any of you know a white country without an investment or interest in South Africa? Who buys our gold? Who buys our diamonds? Who trades with us? Who is helping us develop other nuclear weapons? The very truth is that we are their people and they are our people. It's a big secret. The strength of our economy is backed by America, Britain, Germany. It is our strong conviction, therefore, that the Black is the raw material for the white man. So brothers and sisters, let us join hands together to fight against this Black devil. I appeal to all Afrikaners to come out with any creative means of fighting this war. Surely God cannot forsake his own people whom we are. By now, every one of us has seen it practically that the Blacks cannot rule themselves. Give them guns, they will kill each other. They are good for nothing but making noise, dancing, marrying many wives, and indulging in sex. Let us all accept that the Black man is a symbol of poverty, mental inferiority, laziness, and emotional incompetence. Isn't it plausible, therefore, that the white man is created to rule the Black man? Come to think of what would happen one day if you woke up on the throne, sat a coffer. That's what they call a monkey. Can you imagine what would happen to our women? Does any of you believe that Blacks can rule this country? Hence, we have good reasons to let them all, the Mandelas, rot in prison. And I think we should be commended for having kept them alive in spite of what we have at hand with which to finish them off. I wish to announce a number of new strategies that should be put to use to destroy this black bug. We should now make use of chemical weapons. Priority number one, we should not by all means allow any more increases of the Black population. Hence, we be choked very soon. I have exciting news that our scientists have come up with an efficient stop. I am sending out more researchers to the fields to identify as many venues as possible where the chemical weapons could be employed to combat any further population increases. The hospital is a very strategic opening, for example, and should be fully utilized. The food supply channel should be used. We have developed excellent slow-killing poisons and fertility destroyers. Our only fear is in case such stuff should end up in their hands, as they are bound to start using it against us. If you think of how many of the Blacks work for us in our homes. However, we are doing our best we can to make sure that the stuff remains strictly in our hands. Secondly, most Blacks are vulnerable to money inducements. I have set aside a special fund to exploit this venue. The old trick of divide and rule is still very valid today. Our experts should work day and night to set the Black man against his fellow man. His inferior sense of morals can be exploited beautifully. And here's a creature that lacks foresight. There's a need for us to combat him on long-term projections that he cannot suspect. The average Black does not plan his life beyond a year. That stands for example should be exploited. My special department is already working around the clock to come up with a long-term operation blueprint. I am also sending a special request to all Afrikaner mothers to double their birth rate. It may be necessary too to set up a population boom industry by putting up centuries where we employ and support fully white young men and women to produce children for the nation. We are also investigating merits of uterus rental. So I'm going to leave it there. Anybody else that wants to know the rest of it, they need to look up P.W. Botha's speech, 1985, and they should be able to have a conversation with me by the time they finish reading it.
Can you say his name again?
P period, P as in Paul, P period, W period, Botha, B-O-T-H-A. He's the person who put Nelson Mandela in jail for 27 years and tried to take over the entire continent of Africa.
Hey, brother Kenwardo, is it possible you could text that to me so I won't forget it? Because I need that.
Yes, I will text it to him and he can text it to everybody.
Yeah, I'm familiar with P.W. Botha's speech.
Mm-hmm. Every single Black male should know P.W., who P.W. is, and read his speech. We make people who want to deal with us read it every 3 months, just so they understand what's going on.
Muted, Kenwardo. Wardo, you muted.
All right, y'all carry on. I'm done.
Kenwardo, you muted. You muted.
My fault. I was asking the sister Black, Netta Black. I'm gonna ask you about this. What made you decide to make this kind of the black codes?
Well, I was doing work with volunteering with the museum downtown, the Apex Museum.
Apex, yeah.
Yes. Anytime that we are in a city, when we get here, the first thing we do is hide the Panther schools in plain sight. So we will go to a museum, a basement of a school, anything, and we will ask them, if they want to host a Panther school. They say yes. We volunteer during the day when they have their establishment is open. When they close, the school begins and the school goes on until the classes end in the evening. So the museum, Mr. Moore, was very, very happy to be able to host a Panther school. Yeah. And many people did not know unless they were part of a Black organization. The museum is open from 10 to 5:30, and then to 5, and then at 5:30, we invited organizations that were really trying to fix the Black community to come in, have a place to meet, and actually deal with solutions. So we hosted everybody from the Million Man, Million Woman March. We did everybody. And then what the person as being the teacher for Georgia, my job was to get everybody to understand what the elders did, how they did it, and how to duplicate what we were doing. So the Black codes was something that when we got here, they were literally implementing Black codes with Freaknik. They were doing the no cruising.
Yeah.
So Mr. Moore and the curator at the time, Miss Michelle, wanted to do something to show Black people that not much had changed, that they were still living under Black code. So we went looking for W.B. Du Bois. There was an exhibit of his Black codes all over the wall throughout the museum. So we decided to, when the exhibit was coming down, to put all the codes in a book. So we did the research and different things, editing, all that stuff. And Mr. Moore and Miss Michelle made the code book. And then I made the Black code calendar so that children can see it on a daily basis. They may not, they might read the book and just go ahead and put it on the bookshelf, but the calendar is up on the wall all day long on the refrigerator.
Got it. Okay, this is the first code that I have that popped up on the calendar. It begins here. You have the authorizing the sale and the purchasing of Blacks.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell us a little bit about that to break it down?
Now, right now today, every first Tuesday of the month, Negro neighborhoods are put up for sale on the courthouse steps.
Right.
But many Blacks don't realize that the first Tuesday of every month, there's a code in there that tells you that a Negro was put up for sale. Any Negroes you collected throughout the month were put up for sale by the sheriff's office or the solicitor on the first Tuesday of every month. Yes. So there's a lot of codes that Black people live under today. Like I heard you guys asking, what was the psychological effect of the codes? They're the same codes as you have today. Courts and police use the same code. The killing of a Negro while he is resisting arrest, all they have to do is say they feared for their life and they can kill that Negro.
Right. Yeah.
So, Sister Nisa, I have a question for you. The killing of a Negro, does that has to do anything with our status? That's one part of it. Second part, does it has anything to do with the 13th, either in the 14th Amendment?
Well, remember, none of those amendments are for us. Not a single one of them. Not one of them says the word Black. What they did was they knew the Blacks were about to be mixed in with the Caucasian people. And so what they wanted to do was they were trying to make themselves look different to the rest of the world. So in order to do that, they had to move slavery from the horribleness that the world was seeing, because you can't really tell somebody else how to be if they seeing all the pictures of people hanging from trees. And they simply moved you from being property of the South, of the Confederate States to being property of the United States. That's what Lincoln did.
Okay, I got another question for you. What about the contracts via through the United States corporation as it stands? And this is a question I want to ask you from your research.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true that 3 white men still equals 1 black man?
Remember, a black man, and that is one of the things that people, there's different little sayings that were said by different courts that black people ran with. A black male is not considered human, period. He is considered animal, property of the United States. You are still considered an animal. When they're trying to capture you, they're hunting you. You're like game. You are still not a citizen. You have never fought to be a citizen. You're not a citizen of a country you created, and you are not a citizen of the country that they made up and created. You are still their property.
Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, I just have a question about what is the meaning of the habeas corpus, Miss Neeta?
It's mainly for white people that they are entitled to control over their own body. So when somebody takes their body into you're literally kidnapping them if you're violating their rights. So a lot of the rights that white folks had in the laws, black folks tried to implement those laws for black people. But many courts, including the Dred Scott Court, literally laid it out that you do not have the same rights as a white man. This is a white country, just like P.W. Botha said. This is a white country that was pretend and made for the white man. If you want your rights back, then you must reclaim a country of your own on this land.
I got a question for you. With the habeas corpus, I came into the knowledge game under commerce, learning laws of the water. We have used that particular document many of times. It's not as effective as it is now. But
and I do understand. Yes, I do understand.
Okay.
Remember, in court, they want you out of there as quickly as possible. So if it looks like you're going to cause too many problems, then they will give you something just to keep other Negroes from hearing it. That's why they make you wait to the end of the court. That's why they do all the cases first, to try and keep as few Negroes as possible from hearing it. Most of the laws made for them were not made for us. You just can use them. And if you give them enough problems, they're either going to kill you or give you what you want and make you get out their face. But understand, if they decide to fight it, they have broken every treaty with every person they have ever made. So there's not a single piece of paper that you have that means anything to them when they declare war. And they have declared war on the black man. He simply has not declared it back.
You are correct about the court situation, because my last court case was in Fulton County. It was a very simple case, but they did make me wait all the way to the end. Yes, and the judge actually took off the road when she exit out into the vestibule. Mm-hmm. And she just plainly told me, teach her family and friends, but Mr. Green, stay out my courtroom.
Exactly.
So can you say that one more time about these laws and how it don't matter if we know them, that when they declare war is war? Because that was a jewel.
Yes, the laws that they have, every law that you are under is a slave master's law. And his children and grandchildren, which are actually the children and grandchildren of England. That's why you're under English law. You are under laws that were created for your enslavement. So they are laws for the slave master and their children, not for the slave. Now, slaves can go in there just like Dred Scott did, and they can go in and say, well, if we are human, and you'll hear white folks say that, you know, we're all one race, the human race. But white folks in their laws tell you that human is not a race, it's a category like cat and dog. There are two different species, a white species and a black species. Everything else is a mixture of the two. So you are either black, white, or mulatto. And the only person that has rights under their law is a white person. Everybody else is given certain lenience. That's why they call it tolerance. They tolerate you in their court, but their courts are not made for you, not on the plaintiff side. You have to literally fight to use their laws against them. And you got to be willing to die for it.
That's a fact.
Their laws were not made for you. You're not even human. Their Pope said you're not human. That's why they were able to have sex with you, because they were into bestiality, and to them, you and your black female and children were beasts.
Wow.
Their laws are not for you. So when a black male wants to fight, he has to fight as a descendant of Negro slaves. One of the worst things they did in the 70s was make black people afraid to say the word black. That's why we say it so often, because black is the only thing in this entire planet that white people can't be. They can be Moor, they can be Australian Aborigines, they can be all kind of stuff. If they've been there for 300 years, they call themselves the original people. They kill off the original people, nobody know the difference. The one thing they can't be is black. And that's the one word that we use for everything. They use white in order to solidify their fight against you, and you must use the word black in order to solidify your fight against them. Because you can be black Jamaican, black Haitian, you can be black American, you can be black Britain, and those blacks together can unite against this white demon. But you got to use the word black. It's the one word they're afraid of.
Okay, cool. Cool. I'm gonna get roll on to the next one. That was dope. I like that. Authorizing the punishment of blacks.
Yeah. Now remember, all of their laws either were about the population control of blacks, the control of the family unit, because remember, the family unit was their economics. So a male today, just like before, does not own his family. The minute he pays for his family's freedom, they become free Negro, not his property. In order for you to have rights in this land that they pretend and created, you must own property. So even though you pay your money for your wife and children to be in your possession, I want my family with me, you pay for them just like any other transaction. But the minute you buy them, they become free Negro in the law, just so you don't own property. That's why your children don't belong to you.
Right.
They have them go with the mother, because whoever owns the mother owns the child. And black males never fought to have 50% ownership of that child. They wouldn't be able to get away with half the stuff they get away with in these courts if black males fought for 50% ownership of that child the minute it was conceived. You own your sperm, she owned her egg. The minute you consummate and fertilize that egg, you now have owned half that cell. And if you don't fight for it, somebody's going to take it from you.
I got a question for you on Sister Nisa Shabazz. Is that the purpose for the burning of the allodial titles during certain time periods in history?
Anything that they do, remember, most of their stuff in history is based on pagan law. The Pope literally does everything. Every single country is under the Pope and the pagan law. So pagan law was men were in charge, but they were talking about white men. You were slaves in every single law in every single white-made country, except your own Negro country. So just understand that their laws are all fictitious. You can use them just like they can. But you are you walking, just like I told her on these platforms. Imagine us trying to do solutions for Black males on a white platform. That's why I make people meet me in person. When I talk about their laws, when we really get into the stuff that you're asking, we don't need to be talking about it on a white platform. Because the minute you leave that platform, they own your cell phones, they own your laptops, they own your everything. So there are some discussions about the deeper parts of this that we need to have in person.
So I'm gonna switch it up different this time. Any questions, anyone? Vice, knowledge. Rebel.
Nah,
Go ahead.
Down the line. I want to hear the breakdown. That was a good breakdown. Let her hit all the points.
Okay. So I'm gonna sister back.
Yes, sir.
You had a question, knowledge?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm going through the calendar. Okay. I'm gonna go by the dates, the years that you have on here.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1801. Could you tell us about that?
Now, those codes that you see on there were getting ready for Lincoln to do what he did. So you literally had the United States trying to form you solidify their formation. And in order to do that, they need the number one commodity, which was the slave labor.
Right.
In order to get that, whites had to fight whites. Because one set of whites had it for their economy, the other set of whites needed it for their economy, which just like any other time, they had to create a war in order to seize that property, which is what they did. So you are the property that was seized. Lincoln literally told every one of them that agreed with him that you can act as if this emancipation has never occurred. So many Blacks have not read the Emancipation. That's why you have Negroes like Obama sitting up there in front of Lincoln and his portrait. That's white folks putting an image in your head that Lincoln was some kind of hero for Black folks. He literally simply moved slavery from plantation slavery to prison industrial slavery. That was his job. So a lot of those codes you're going to see one that one of the most ridiculous codes that was put into the book, because anybody that gets the calendar needs to also get, I just put the main ones for Black males in the calendar for Black boys and Black adult males. But the book has a bunch of codes. One of the most ridiculous codes is if you are a Negro from another country and you are brought to the United States and your captain leaves without you, you are automatically put into the slave trade and sold on the courthouse steps because you were left. It's your fault you were left.
I wanted to say one thing about that, the transferring of slaves from the South to the North. Another thing that they created around that same time frame was the IRS.
Yes.
And And it was literally made around the same time. And it's crazy how it was done. And they took some time out to actually think about it. So when they create this structure, that's what I was telling like the brothers in the Moors. They treat you like that because you call yourself black and because you this, because you that. If you know the laws, I'm like, brother, I don't understand if they aim a gun and they squeezing at you. It ain't about knowing the laws. Like, so if we just actually start to lock down certain neighborhoods and organize and start moving next to each other. Because even our brothers with the same mindset, we live too far from each other. So I feel like part of what we should do is be trying to move next door. So our children grow up next to each other and we could actually make this a generational thing instead of it growing and ebbing and flowing.
I can appreciate that, but anytime somebody tell me that we should do this or we should do that, I let them know. When people say we should have our own radio station, you had your own radio station, you sold it to white. You did used to live next door to each other because you couldn't go to white neighborhoods. You sold those to white. You had your own grocery stores, you sold those to white. Not you personally, you know what I'm saying. The things that you're talking about, we had. And then white said, all right, you Negroes, we're going to move some of y'all from the field and let y'all come into the air conditioning. And white folks started hand in hand with white folks, we shall overcome.
Yep.
We had all that.
Yep.
Hair care, black theaters, black entertainment industry, black everything. We couldn't be more black. Men even had their black hair. Big old natural. With their own black hair care to take care of it. So we had those things.
And I think what you're saying, yeah, absolutely. And that also speaks to like you mentioned earlier, like the Willie Lynch. And that speaks to like the self-hate. Because like you said, everything we're saying, oh, we need our own basketball league. Oh, we need our own baseball league. Well, like you said, we had all of these things, but we turned them in, or we were tricked.
Some shiny magic beads.
You know, for these for these Eurocentric trinkets and for entry into this imaginary house.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so like now we're trying to recapture what we once had and what we once had with pride. And like you brought up something interesting again when you talked about like the Willie Lynch. Yeah. And as I look at us now as a whole, as a people in 2022, I'm seeing us get deeper into the Willie Lynch of like, now we're looking at most of the time when we're looking on social media or just in public venues or surfaces, females versus males, and we're starting to be socialized so we can't even stand one another.
Well, so now let me make sure that you understand why. Willie Lynch, let me make sure you understand why.
Okay.
Willie Lynch was due to he guaranteed white that he could make black slaves for 300 years. That 300 years was about to be up in 2012. And black people, black males in particular, were becoming millionaires from 1985. So in 1985, they began instituting and developing the second phase of Willie Lynch that was due to go into effect January 1st, 2000. So they had it in, and it's due to last till 2500, 500 years. So you are now in, since 2012, you are now in the second phase of Willie Lynch. And most people never even knew when one ended and the other one began. I asked Brother KENWARDO, I was like, can we really talk? Can we be real about this race thing?
Yeah, let us get real with it. I mean, that's what we're here for.
You are in the second phase of Willie Lynch, January 1st, 2012. The second one began, and most people didn't even know it started.
That's because we're not privy to a lot of information.
Yes, sir.
And I do tell brothers, a lot of brothers, they speak against me sometimes when I learned commerce first, but that was the information that was presented to me. So that's what I gravitated to as far as like learning
And that's wonderful. That's
the
wonderful.
laws of the water, the maxims of laws and stuff like that. But
just know that commerce thing is a poker game. So anytime, the reason there's so many people that use the UCC sitting in jails and prisons is because you're literally going into a game with the mob, cheaters. So you use their code thinking that they honor their code, and they have no honor among their thieves.
Right.
So you can use it for a common person that has little IQ. So if you meet, white boy on the police in a police uniform on a country road, he don't know nothing what you're talking about. So you sound like you finna get him in trouble. But when you talking to the mob, which is what those courts are, those judges are, they are the mob.
Yeah.
They're like, look, Negro, I'm going to let you leave my courtroom just so you don't tell no other Negro. But don't think you won, because believe me, him and that DA going to get together and they're going to come at you with some other stuff. They just going to wait for you to forget about them, and they coming at you with something else. But they're not going to have you educate Negroes in a courtroom. That's a mob's territory.
Interesting.
Believe me, if the UCC code was all that it should be, black males, there's enough black males using it, y'all would have your own country, your own economy, your own treasury, your own everything. You want to use the UCC code? Use it to create your own IRS.
Well, we will be at war with the United States, and we might not live for 7 days.
But if you want to use it, white folks take their children out down
Beautiful
a mountain
7 days, brother.
Every year they take their children out on a piece of board down a mountain just so they're not afraid of death. The stuff that you want, brother, for black males, you gotta be willing to die for it.
Correct.
Because when I fight for black males in that part, whether it's in the park, whether wherever it is, on this channel, wherever I am, I tell you as a brother, I'm willing to die for you.
That's right. So, Sister Black, I'm just gonna go by the years, and you can, go off the years that I present to you. That's on this calendar. 18, the year 1816.
1816, okay. I know you have the calendar that you put in our brother, but if you can do something for me, when you put a year out there, there's a lot of young males that watch our show. If you can read that code for them so that they know what that code says.
Okay, here we go. 1816. Killing a slave in the act of revolt, or when the said slave resists a legal arrest, shall be justifiable homicide.
Exactly.
1816.
That's how you. That's their code.
That's their code.
Only when black males fight it, as in Floyd, as in all these, the difference. You see, if you don't fight it, that code stands. If you make enough noise, you can get any Klan member behind them prison bars. But if you don't make noise, that code stands with the judge, with the prosecutor, even with the jury and the public pretender. They all use that same code. He must have did something,
right,
to resist arrest. That's why they tell you while they got the gun to the back of your head, stop resisting. That's one of the requirements of that code. So they will yell, "Stop resisting," so that another good white person can hear them say it and testify for them in court. That code right there needs to be opened up, like black folks forever putting up the Pope 23rd song. That's the code that should be on the wall and on the refrigerator and everywhere for black females or black males that have a black child. That's a boy. He should know that code. Don't ever let a black female, because remember, females usurping a male's dominance and responsibility with the black male, because you used to take a female when it's born or when it's little, she went with the females. A male when he's little, you go there with your father, go on with your father. But females started usurping that because white folk came in and said, "You don't need, you could do it." No, ma'am, I cannot. I cannot raise a male. I can't tell him what to do with his willy doodle. I don't have one. So when it comes to those boys, even if he's not your biological son, you have a responsibility to make sure that he knows these codes, so that he's not asking why they keep killing us. That makes him sound weak. Let him know about these codes.
All right. Let's go to 1970. Right. Every owner or owners who may keep on any plantation the number of 10 slaves or more over the age of 16 shall be compelled to keep a white man capable of bearing arms as an overseer.
Yes, sir. That is why the police show up. The plantation police show up. If more than 7 Negroes to 10 Negro males are in one place at one time, that's a black code. It's their job to show up if 7 to 10 black males are in one place at one time. They're required to show up. Bearing arms. Prepared to shoot. That's their code.
Let me ask you, that's why, isn't that why, like, isn't the protocol now? You know, they've been shooting us down in the street for years. Is this the reason why they get away with murdering us when they come to our neighborhoods? Because they consider our neighborhood high risk crime, high crime areas.
But no, they know that they commit more crimes than anybody. They simply use the code to keep your population. Remember, they got you. Their thing was to keep your population to 13 to 15%, period. Like both have said, least they be choked because, and I know I don't want to really take up all y'all time because y'all know I teach class when I get started.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're here for, sister.
The average black female during slavery, by the time she was 30, had 4 children. By the time a white female was 30, she was just having 1. At that point, you guys would have outnumbered them 4-1. So they literally put in their laws, these codes, to a plan to kill off 3 of that black female's children by the time she's 30. One was the strongest one was to be hanged, and he had to be hanged for the other ones to see him. The other one had to have his back broke. That's what you guys know of, what that's happening to children and grandchildren now. His mind has to be fractured. They had apparatus in order to go into his behind and fracture his mind. And the other one had to be put in the prison industrial complex in order to feed the economy and keep him separated from females for life. If you can get him before he sires a child and hold him for life, you can kill off his entire bloodline. And that would leave her with the weakest child. And she can hang on to that one if she wants to. And it's still in effect today.
That's crazy. I can see it.
Any questions, anyone? For the sister?
As far as like the black codes that you're reading, I had read some of these codes a long time ago. I got a question for you. Is that how they is that the reason how the sheriffs structure some of their in-house laws as far as dealing with us?
Now, there's a code in there that tells the sheriff that it is his responsibility if he finds a Negro male or a slave. Most of their codes was based for males, because the reason they did males is because once a female slave was knocked up, she was out of the mix for 9 months. But in that time, a male could sire 100 children. So it was important to control the male. They tell you all this stuff about females fighting for reproduction, but it's the male that they're trying to control, the black male reproduction. But with the sheriff, if he found a black male that was away from where he's supposed to be, he had the responsibility, not just the duty, not just all this. He had the responsibility by law to collect that black male, hold that black male, find out from that black male who that black male belongs to. If the person that black male belongs to does not claim that black male, the sheriff has the utmost responsibility to sell that black male into the slave trade or the prison industrial slave trade now. They are simply doing their job as plantation police. They are still plantation police. It's just black males no longer see them as plantation police. When a black person, a female, a mother, somebody called me and said, my son didn't show up, Miss Black. I don't know where he at. I asked him, call his friends and find out what slave ship he's on. He's either on the Fulton County slave ship, the DeKalb County slave ship, the Clayton County slave ship. He's on a slave ship. He's been captured. Because most children are going to be there by a certain time. If he's not where he's supposed to be, chances are he's on a slave ship. And you see the way they structure it. It is structured, you're laying on top of each other like a slave ship. So everything in their laws, everything that they do, every time they stop you on the street, stop and frisk, all of that, you had the right as a plantation police to stop any slave and have them empty their pockets, take off their shoes, in order, not because you think they have something, but because you can. It kept black male slaves understanding that they had no rights and no power. That's what the codes were for.
Any questions? Any questions for the sister?
Well, I have a question, Ms. Neeta, about the flyer that you sent us with the Black Power fist and the letters and the colors. Could you break down? And I think I sent it to you, Brother KENWARDO, that flyer that you were sending out to us to pass on. Could you break down that for us?
In 1987, you had NAMBLA came to black churches and were trying to buy off Negro preachers. Now, in every black church, you had usually a person in the entertainment industry, was a musician or he played piano, whatever. They simply infiltrated the churches by having that one Negro person come into the church. Once that everybody in the church knew that person liked males, but you whispered, you tell the children, don't go over there, don't mess with him, don't do nothing, because he ain't right in the head. They knew it was a mental illness. But what NAMBLA came in and did in the 80s was, in order to get laws passed They had to get Negro males, which wouldn't even let you brush up against them too close.
Still.
They had to get Negro males to accept another male. And NAMBLA literally went to Congress and said that I guarantee I can get Negro males to cut off their own black bloodline if you allow me to do these certain things. So they did everything from your cartoons you watch, everything. The Black Power movement that our elders started was making Black males so powerful that the only way to get Black males to give up that power was to get them to accept the North American Man-Boy Love Association.
That's what NAMBLA stands for?
That's what NAMBLA stands for. So the NAMBLA came in, put a bunch of money in the churches, got female to say, if you support us, if you support breast cancer, you'll wear this pink. If you support breast cancer, you'll wear these pink socks or this pink t-shirt, and they were giving them to you.
Yeah.
But little by little, they took things that they knew they could use. One of the most recognizable symbols in the world is the rainbow. Children recognize the rainbows because that's what they use to start understanding how to make their colors. So if you can take the one thing that universally children recognize as something good, then you can capture, like Pied Piper, you can capture all of those little minds. So they started literally fighting to be able to collect crack babies in the 80s. Crack babies were being literally purchased from the DFAC by lesbian white females and homosexual males. Black communities didn't keep up with what happened to those children. Those children became the rappers and the different people that a lot of you guys know of from the last generation. But NAMBLA is now in control of every single aspect of your life because Black males did not pay attention to what NAMBLA was doing.
What year was this again?
This is nice. If you look up NAMBLA, NAMBLA, 1987 Congress speech, you'll find the leader of NAMBLA went to Congress and said, I guarantee I can get them to kill off their own Black bloodline. Remember, when a Black male that's 9 years old decides he's going to be with his friend, another male, they killed off 2 Black bloodlines. And then in 1990, they started working on the female. So if you get 2 females when they're teenagers to decide they're only going to be with another female, you killed off 2 Black bloodlines. And you only need to do that for 6 to 10 generations before you cut their population in half. And that's what they did. So now in order to fight it, we try to get people to get back their right Black mind. But as you can see from pictures like Entourage, the series, not Entourage, Empire, they're fighting us. You guys see it, but they're fighting us. As we're trying to give you Black power, Black pride, they're saying, okay, well, we can get Black people out there because they're killing Black males. Well, let's infuse that. So NAMBLA comes in with their money, but once you take their money, then you have to change your symbols around a little bit. And what they started doing was getting children to infuse the rainbow in the fist. So now you got a black and a brown fist with a comb in it. But you got a rainbow, and NAMBLA has pink and blue, which means you're going to hear a lot of entertainers saying they're pansexual. Pansexual includes bestiality, sex with little babies. Pansexual means you will do anything of any age, of any species. That's what pansexual means. And NAMBLA is trying to take over the Black Power movement because it's the only movement that can get Black males back their right mind.
Oh, learn something. I'm gonna get a little bit off subject. Well, this for you and the sister Nisa Shabazz as well. Just a question: what do y'all feel about Roe versus Wade?
Oh, Ms. Nisa, tell them what you feel.
Okay, well, when it comes down to that, I have this documentary which we've had some years ago called EP-29, which clearly talks about Planned Parenthood. And when you ask the number one question to Black people, well, what's the number one killer among Black people? Oh, cancer, heart, or whatever the case is, they'll say it's, you know, some type of disease, but it's really abortion. But I think that this is a type of movement that's put in place for white folks. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, because the same thing with any kind of disease that they create and put out there, they'll put it out there to destroy us. But when it comes down to dealing with other people, then it becomes a problem. You know, but Miss Neeta is our mentor and she can answer all these questions, you know, because there's a lot of things I really don't follow when it comes to white folks, because my main objective is educating and waking up Black people, you know. So, but I think Miss Neeta is the one that can really, really answer this.
I did a book when I was younger. The book is called There's a Baby in My Stomach, Should I Kill It? And in there, I asked Black males who, you had people like Common, D.L. Hughley, you had Rihanna, you had a lot of different entertainers. And my thing is educating entertainers because they're what's being used to get our children and grandchildren to act the fool. But in there, I asked them, and I'll ask you gentlemen, if a female has sex, don't know she's pregnant yet, you beat her up, she has a miscarriage, what have you committed?
A crime.
Murder.
Yeah.
You have committed murder. Yeah. You have killed her baby. So how is it that it's a killing when you do it, but it's not a killing when she do it? That's how you know that white folks have tricked you into something. If it's a crime on this side, it's a crime on this side.
Right.
So if you hit that white woman, and you don't even know she's pregnant, she don't even know she's pregnant, but that baby dies, it's a baby. And white folks know this. Now, the other trick that they do, the title of the book is the 5 most common lies that white women tell Black women. Because they got Black women to go along with this mess like it's going crazy.
Right.
But
right.
The thing that happens with these white lies is that you have this white woman saying that this is my body. I can do what I want. Don't tell me what to do with my body. But in her stomach, whose body is that?
Her baby's.
That's a whole nother person's body. So how does she get to say what happens to another person's body simply because she is a host? She may as well be alien. She is simply a host. She does not get to kill a baby because she wants to. If that's the case, then when the baby is born, P.W. Bolton say he should be able to kill it. If P.W. Bolton is wrong, then so is that demon that's trying to kill that baby. But they got Negro females to go along with it, and then a bunch of demons brought up the rap industry, and suddenly Black females couldn't be nothing but concubine and get pregnant and go run and get an abortion. You used to be a little bit more careful.
Right.
But a lot of the abortions are like a lot of rituals that comes with the music entertainment
well,
industry.
They have white girls that are literally paid to have white children for rituals. But you have demons, which is what I call white folks, because the stuff they do is demonic. So anytime they have a problem with the word demon, stop doing demonic stuff. But you literally have white folks that are using the stem cells of our babies. They're using the brain tissue of our babies. They're using the genitalia of our babies. Yet they want to act like they're the innocent victim. No, sir, no, ma'am. I'm gonna have to call you on your stuff now, and I don't even curse. So our babies are actually being aborted for population control and to feed their quest for you. Remember, they used to eat black male genitalia because they thought it would make their genitalia bigger. Oh yeah. Oh please. When it comes to demons, I track demons like demons track black people.
Right.
China, Japan, United States, Britain, all of them used to eat black males' penises because they thought it would make theirs bigger. No, it wasn't. Oh, I'm back.
Hey, sister, the way you call them demons, and I utilize the same word, so we are in sync. I'm feeling you.
You don't want me to call you a demon? When they come up to, I had a demon. I go to the neighborhood. The 6-foot demon came up to me. They was having a meeting. Looked like clan meeting to me. They had blacks on one side playing pool, and white folks had a little accordion. And on the other side, they was talking about what they were doing with the neighborhood and with the park. So I went over to the clan side and like, what's going on? The demon, 6-foot demon, come over to me, standing behind me, talking about, I don't even live in this neighborhood. What are you doing here? I turned around. I say, I don't normally shake the closet of a demon. I don't know, but I'm sure if I shake your closets, my ancestors' bones will fall out.
Oh, glory. I hear them rattling already.
And then I got on blackmail for that demon even being able to get that close to me. Yeah. Because I expect you to have my back as a black male if I'm here fighting for you.
Right.
But demons, they know who to mess with and who not to. He took his little red self over there and sat down. At any time, I'm prepared to fight this war. Because I know you declared war on black males. They may not know you declared it on them, so they're sleeping around with Becky and Susie because they don't know that she's one of the weapons. But P.W. Botha, when you finish reading it, will tell you about the white females that they sent to get you.
Right.
Yeah, that's towards the end of it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He said he called them mercenaries.
What's the other gentleman name that you had us read about besides P.W. Botha? There was another person.
Willie Lynch?
No, it wasn't Willie Lynch. It was someone else. It's P.W. Botha, Willie Lynch, and then there was another person. I can't think of the name right now. Who did a similar thing to P.W. Botha?
Yeah, those two right there are the two that black people need to read every 3 months. Just to make sure they remember what he said.
Yeah, I don't have a pen, so when we get off this feed, could you text me that info?
Oh yeah, I'll text
Make your sister black. Yeah. Let's get on to the next one.
All right.
1831. An act to authorize the justices of the inferior court of Wilkes County, or a majority of them, to hire or purchase Negroes for the improvement of the roads and bridges in said country.
County,
yeah.
Y'all see that on the highways now. Wilkes County is in Georgia. And every single county has a code, has black code. But
As
Georgia,
what?
huh?
As what?
Wilkes County is in Georgia. Every single county in the United States has black code. Everything from where Negroes can live to where they can go to school to what they can do after sundown. They all have code. But in Savannah, in different places in Georgia, which is what this book was based on, the Black Codes of Georgia. We did Black Codes of Alabama, Black Codes of different, each of the 50 states. I have a book that's called Black Suing All 50 States for the Loss of Black Income, Black Land, and Black Bloodline. So the thing is that Black, if you guys are from New York, you need to see the codes for New York. Because New York owes, when you're talking about reparations for anything, y'all need to know these codes. But New York has some ugly codes because they were 100% under the mob. But Georgia, Wilkes County was one of the major plantation owners. So like if you know a person whose last name is Butts,
Right.
you might have Michael Butts or, you know, Melinda Butts or whatever. They were owned by Bucks County. The county purchased those Negroes and they were owned by the county. So when you if you meet a person, I have a book called His Name Is My Name Too. What should I do? That I did for a teenager. So when they were asking, you know, why is my last name Bush and the president's last name is Bush? That's a good question, baby. How did you and Bush get the same name? So each one of these counties that you see was owned by a plantation owner. The owner literally owned the county, the town. And every slave, when you purchased it, instead of, they would take on your last name and drop the last name of the slave owner that owned them before. That's why you have so many Washingtons. That's why you have so many Clintons. So a lot of people don't know why they have those names. But those names are not their family names. Those names are the names of the people who own them. And Wilkes County, you had a lot of Black folks named Wilkes because they were owned by one of the largest plantations here in Georgia. Now, the reason that you have somebody like Washington Mutual, a lot of y'all don't know that Washington Mutual paid $10 million to the Negroes down on Auburn Avenue. Black folk didn't get their part, but Washington Mutual paid that because Washington Mutual was connected to the Southern Mutual Insurance Company, which is the company that insured Negroes for plantation owners. So if a Negro died, the plantation owner was the one who was paid out the policy. And Wilkes was one of those counties that not only owned the county, owned the biggest plantation, but they also owned part of the insurance company that actually tracked and insured Negroes.
All right, any questions? OBASI? Knowledge? Rebel?
Yeah, let her run them down. I'm sure if somebody got a question, they know how to jump in. But this is powerful. Let her run them down.
Go to another code. Okay. 1816. If any slave or slaves, mulatto or free person of color shall purchase any of said commodities from any slave or slaves, he, she, or they shall on conviction thereof receive his or her or their bareback 39 lashes to be well laid on by the constable of the said court.
Now you see how detailed they are in their code.
Yeah, that's
real
pretty
detailed.
detailed.
They told you how
that's
many.
really detailed.
They're real detailed. But that is the reason why whites right today are able to make $1 billion a day on marijuana while they still pick up Negroes. Because you are still a slave and you are not allowed to own the commodity. Now, the reason that they didn't want Negroes owning the marijuana plant is because it was used as a salve. Once they beat you, it was put in your wounds, and you chewed on the leaf in order. It was a sedative. White folks know this, but Negroes don't. So they literally took away your medicine that helped you heal after a beating and made it illegal for you to even possess it. That's what that code is for.
It's crazy. Okay, let's go on. 1829. Every free Negro or person of color coming into the state of as aforesaid, and who shall not depart the state. In the case of the captain refusing or neglecting to carry him away within 10 days after the vessel in which he came has departed, shall be liable on conviction before any magistrate of the county to be whipped, not exceeding 39 lashes.
Now that's that one I was telling you about where you, the captain accidentally leave you there, but you're whipped and put into slavery. How they gonna whip you because the captain actually left without you getting on the ship? But you get whipped and you get put into slavery. That's why you have black males be like, wait, I didn't even do nothing. Somebody jumped on me, and just because I beat them up and didn't take their jumping on me, I'm the one going to jail.
Right.
That's what that code is from.
Okay. All right.
And just so everybody know, the code book that we have, and thank you to Mr. KENWARDO because he supported the school. The code book that we do is $20 or whatever donation you want to do. A lot of people do more than $20 and they still get the code book. But what we do is we create the calendars so that it can be, we do the codes based on the year you were born, the year your ancestors were born. So let's say you want a calendar from the year your grandmother was born. We'll do your customized calendar for the year your grandmother was born. Or let's say you have 3 children. We'll do a calendar for each of the years that your children were born. And that's how we get people to put the calendar up on the refrigerator, on the wall, so that they become keepsakes. And when them children get their own apartment, let them take their calendar with them and put it on their wall.
Right. Right.
It's an interesting code. 1859.
Oh, Miss Nisa got one for you. She got 1859.
Codes authorizing
1859.
Yes, that's
Okay.
for that's before December. Codes authorizing punishment of blacks. 1859, an act to prevent free persons of color, commonly known as free Negroes, from being brought or coming into the state of Georgia.
Yes, ma'am. You can't be free and be in the state. If you want to be free, if you bought your freedom, you need to get out. If you come back into the state, we're going to put you back in slavery.
And it was 1859, I said. Well, they sure know they came in with some codes to keep us down.
Oh, yes, sir. They have 200 of them here in Georgia. 200. Yeah. We're just reading 12 of them, the whole state.
Ms. Black, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Then why did the white man just pass the gun law that allows anybody to just put a gun in their pocket?
Because one of the things that they were doing, I'm glad you asked that, sir. Thank you so much. One of the things that they have been getting in trouble with for the past, since Trayvon and Michael Brown, is that they keep killing unarmed black males. And they keep getting caught killing unarmed black males. They need you guys to be armed in order for them to be able to use the other code, which is justifiable homicide.
But they've been killing us and getting away with it, even if we are unarmed. Let me get in the
But
way.
that's what I'm saying. They've been killing you, but they get a lot of, you cause a lot of problems when you protest. You cause a lot of businesses to get scared, and police are there not to protect people, but to protect businesses. That's why I told you, if you actually use the UCC code in conjunction with some things that are powerful, you can get them to do a lot of stuff. But police are there. Plantation police are there to protect plantation owners. Every business owner is considered a plantation owner. Bunch of people work for them. The bigger the plantation, the more police are there to protect them. So they get into a lot of trouble with other white folks jumping up and talking about, oh, he was unarmed. Oh, we're going to protest. That scares white folks. But the minute you say, oh, we found a gun, white folks be like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do if you had a gun. Change the whole narrative. So remember, on January 1st, if you think about December 31st, 1862, on December 31st, 1862, you were a runaway slave. People felt sorry for you. They would help you. They would hide you. They would feed you. On January 1st, just the next day, on January 1st, 1863, you became a fugitive slave. That means anybody that helped you became a criminal as well. So the mindset of people trying to help Black males changes when the Black male is the perpetrator. So he walking around with a gun, that's already scaring white folks. Now, white folks walking around with guns is protecting white folks. But a Black male, they are so afraid that one of these days y'all gonna wake up and be like, you know what? Let's go get our reparations. That's what they're afraid of. So a Black male already is a powerful being. And then you give that powerful being the same tools that a white man has, it's like a basketball game. He can't win.
Break down Juneteenth, because we need to have a discussion about that becoming a national
Juneteenth
holiday.
She was asking me about Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a whole nother show. Yeah, we're gonna have to break down Juneteenth at some point. That's a whole nother show. But yes, Juneteenth. I have to ask Negroes all the time, what you celebrating? You have Black folks that didn't want to leave the plantation, white folks that didn't want them to leave, and the military ever came in and said, "You belong to us now." That's the long and short of it. But yes, a Black male with a gun in court, he is automatically the perpetrator. He has to prove that he wasn't going to kill a police with that gun. So if you have more Black males with guns, that's more reason for police to be able to do justifiable homicide. But don't give up your gun, because guns is the only thing that stopped the Klan from coming to black neighborhoods by the number of Black males that were armed. They already knew which neighborhoods not to come to.
Right.
I got a question for you, Sister Nisa. Can the Black codes be used in conjunction against crimes of humanity in the world court?
You're not a human, sir, not to them. And the world court was made by the same people that told them you weren't human. So remember, the Pope runs all of that. That's why they kiss his ring. I don't care how big or powerful the country is, they kiss the Pope's ring. The Pope told them that you were animals. So having sex with you, killing you, all of that stuff was not against God, because you were not actually, you were beasts. You were not actually human. So when white folks use the word human, it's always a trick.
So that's why they use the term 3/5 of a human.
But 3/5 is only for slave masters to be able to count their slaves. So slave masters voted by how many slaves they had. And the way that they curtail the bigger slave masters versus the ones that only had a few slaves is by limiting how many slaves he was able to count. That was not for the benefit of Black folks.
They the ones who the animal, they want to flip it around like we the animal.
Exactly. even though they have known longer than most black males what was on those walls where you guys were fully dressed. But in order for them to be superior, they must make you act inferior.
Right.
It does not work without it. So they literally banned black folks from going into the pyramid. That's why you had people like Haile Gerima. He was considered Greek. He was considered a mulatto. So he was able to get in. But a dark-skinned Negro African male was banned from going into the pyramids. One, because he would see himself and he would instantly be more spiritually powerful. Two, because they believe that there are still black people that can read that wall. White folks literally believe that there are 84 black people in every generation that can read that wall because the wall told them it is. So they literally look for those people that can read that wall. And the other thing, of course, is that if you don't know that you weren't walking around, the only reason that you have females today walking around with the hair bald-headed, I can't stand a bald-headed female. But if you have a female walking around with a hair bald-head talking about she African, I'll be like, no, sweetie, Africans had very long hair. The only reason that they cut their hair was because white folks brought ticks and fleas.
Wow. Right.
When you look at the pyramid walls, they had, not only did they have long hair, but they did the hair in exceptional styles that you still use today. Only you buy them from white Caucasian. I mean, white Asian.
That make a lot of sense right there.
I told you, be careful what you want. I don't bite my tongue, sir.
Oh yeah, this week that's
we
weren't
bald headed.
That's how we get down.
We were not bald headed. You have some people in some tribes in Africa before the slave trade had hair all the way down to the ground. Never cut their hair.
Let me ask you another question, Sister
Yes,
Nisa. When you're dealing with the Madu Netter and certain symbols are drawn to you, you are drawn to certain symbols. What should you do?
What I need for people to do is find out if they are one of those people that can read that wall. Look at every demon that gets in there takes a picture of the wall. Read it, look at the symbols, everything, and then go to sleep. Ancestors talk to you in your sleep because they don't have all that craziness that they have to get through to talk to you. So read the symbols and then go to sleep. When you wake up, write down what you thought, what you received in your dream. Because it's probably your ancestors talking to you. They left that information for you.
Right.
That's why so many men white folks, when they got in one of the pyramids, they saw a black male on the wall with a bunch of females. So they immediately, because remember, you had Arab white males, French white males, took over the Arabian Peninsula, was one of the first things they took over. And they thought it was a harem. But just like every species on God's planet, they had that black male, his wife, her sisters, his mother, her mother, his daughters, the only person he was sleeping with was the one that was next to him. But white folks use that as a means that these black males is sleeping with all these females. And unfortunately, a lot of black males decided they was going to take up white folks' stuff and try to be Solomon. So if you got a man that white folk that the Pope done said has 700 wives, and each of them had a child for him, that's 1,400 people. He only got 1,440 minutes in a day. That's a tired man. So there's some things that black folk believe that I have to come in and kind of black their eyes and be like, sweetie, no.
So you're saying that it's not really relevant for a man to have more than one wife?
Ms. Nisa is asking me, is it relevant for a man to have more than one wife? And the way that I teach people this in class is You have children. You and a woman get together. Y'all have 4 children. What are your children? They are sister and brother. The minute you have 4 women, each of those women have 25% of a man. You can't be much of a man because ain't none of them got 100% of you. But you have 400% of women. And each of your children are competition. Each of them are going to have loyalty to their mother. And at some point, they're going to get together and they're going to kill you because you seem to be the problem.
I guess I'm ready to die. I went back to the wives.
You want 4 wives?
Jeff is beautiful. Not 4. I'm looking for at least another one. 2,
at least another
no
one. Okay, 3. So each of the women will have 50% of you, and you will have 200% of the women. Which God would be okay with that?
Which God?
Yeah, which God would be okay with that?
I tell you the truth, I'm not even worried about what any God thinks. Because if God really loved us, God will put us in power.
He showed. Remember, a lot of the stuff that we do is our fault now. But just imagine you calling 2 women queen, and you treat them both like concubines.
Why concubines?
Because if a woman is not your mate, she's your concubine.
And to be honest with you, I'm always in the community, and I do speak with a lot of other people for us, Hebrew, and as well as the Nation of Islam. And lately, a lot of the polygamous relationships have been not ending very well. You know, I know one young lady, she's a Hebrew, and she let her husband that she married through the United States courts take on 2 other wives, which she did with their religious agreement, and they boot her out, and now he with the 2 women. I know,
and sir, that's because women lie. Men say I want 3 women, and that's what I want. Women say I'm okay with that, lying through their teeth. But it is okay. Every woman wants a man for herself. No woman wants to be sitting in a room while her man is doing somebody else. She's lying.
Is it okay for a woman to have more than one husband?
A woman having more than one husband is a STD walking. Stop it. Just stop it. I'm sorry, y'all. Go ahead. Y'all do y'all thing. Go ahead. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Go ahead.
Hey, Sister Nisa, do you want to read the code?
Let me see. Let me go through the book. Let me see.
Ain't but 12. I think y'all done went through about 8 of them.
Yeah, I think we did. Was it 7?
Yeah. You did 7. Let's see.
Oh, good. She got one. 1857, codes preventing the employment of blacks. Every free Negro and the male slave above 16 years and under 50 years of age within the county aforesaid shall be and are hereby declared obliged to appear with such implements as are required and to work on several roads, causeways, and bridges to which they may be severely allotted or appointed by the commissioners under this act.
And that is why you have prison buses pull up with prisoners working on the freeway for 18 cents an hour.
Yeah. My question to you, Nisa, why is everything through a trust? When we get to a certain level in commerce, above that level is trust law. Why is everything in trust? When you said prison, you made me think.
I'm gonna stop you.
Prison complex.
I really haven't stopped you before, sir, because I don't like to correct a black man on it.
Go ahead, correct me.
I have to have your permission to do it. So now I want to
hear what you have to say.
You give me permission?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm Miss Neeta, and the person that brought me on is Miss Nisa.
Okay.
I'm a student.
Yeah. So Miss Nisa, when you call me Miss Nisa, I still answer because I know you talking to me. But I am Miss Neeta Black, and most people just call me Miss Black.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I just have to have your permission before I correct it.
I'm a student.
Okay. And to answer your question, if you are a person or you consider yourself a person and you go bankrupt, what's the first thing they do to you? They put everything, your house, your cars, everything in a trust, and everybody is paid from that trust. The
Right.
United States is bankrupt. It's the same thing. Everything that they own, including their Negro slaves, went into a trust. And other countries bought up, including England, mostly England, brought up their assets.
Okay.
What you think about the Queen of England, Miss Neeta?
So she was asking about the Queen of England.
Queen of
That's
England.
the show.
Reptilian.
Another devil. The queen of the devils.
That's a reptilian.
Well, now you know that your entire world is under the Queen and under the Pope. Those two demons got together to take over the entire world, all 7 continents. And they literally used everything at their disposal to control you financially, mentally, and politically. So they will do anything to keep that control. That's why I tell you, when you talk about going to the UN is under the Queen and the Pope. So it's like going to the master and saying, you know, please will you help me to get you to stop killing me? That master is gonna laugh in your face. And that's what Black folks are constantly doing. They're going to people and saying, you're killing us. Will you please give us money, give us enough funding so that we can stop you from killing us? And when they finish laughing and get up off the floor, they be like, okay, look, we'll give you some food stamps. How about that? I'm sorry, y'all. I do have, when I get sleepy, I do have a sense of humor. I'm sorry.
That was dirty. That was dirty right there.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Rebel, you like that one?
Yeah, we need a little lightness on this heavy jewelry.
See that brother right there? He got to get a full dose of me at my last class.
Yes.
So now he got to really see that I do go off on white folks.
Beautiful.
And Negroes for not understanding.
That's a good thing, though.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I will say this though. At one particular point in time, I was using the tax per queue. That's to ship all my mail and packages and stuff for free until I went to the post office one day to pick up some packages, and I was met by 2 postmasters, and they gave me a long speech like this stuff.
Wait. What were they? What's their name?
Tax per queue.
No. What did you just call them?
The postmasters.
Now put slave on there instead of post.
Oh, slave out.
That's what you was met by. You was a Negro
they were saying that stuff don't supposed to be in their system and stuff like that. And the one lady, she told me, you need to stop. You about to make me lose my job.
She telling you the truth. You's gonna get us in trouble. You's gonna make us get whipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same pattern.
Now come around here making all this fuss and stuff and getting white folk mad. You gonna get us in trouble. We gonna always be sold.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all, but yes, that's what he ran into. Now, you used to have a postal service. Your horse rode that mail to the next black town and delivered mail to that next black town. You didn't need slave masters to deliver your mail. So I need y'all to start looking at the things that you need in order. So if I say, you are, I like, for one thing, somebody on here, their name is Black Power Banging.
Yeah. Black Power Banging.
I like that name. Man, I like that name. Okay. If you're gonna bang, bang for black folk. Okay?
Oh, that's
If
right,
you're gonna
Queen.
bang, let me see your black power. Don't put nobody names or they street and you up street looking crazy. Don't do it. I'm gonna give you a broom and a bag. You gotta clean up the street now if you're gonna have it on your neck and your arms and stuff. But if you guys are literally serious about this, and you seem like you are, I would ask you, if something went down today, how many senior citizens are you responsible for? I'm responsible for 1.3 billion black people. How many senior citizens is in your city of New York? How many black people do you have to go and check on if an earthquake happens? If there's flooding, how many seniors do you need to get to and make sure they got food? How much food do you need to feed your people if Bill Gates decides he's not going to feed black folks no more? These are questions that when people say that they are serious about this revolution, I need to know how you're going to feed my people.
Speaking of Bill Gates, can you elaborate just a little bit on the black farmers that we were talking about today?
Ms. Nisa wants me to talk about the black farmers. If you guys are connected in any way, the black farmer that I was dealing with, he has died a while back, and the other ones have become a little Willie Lynch in the mind. So Bill Gates is coming after those lands.
Right.
And they're all in their 60s, 80s. I know that they don't believe me, because they're going to die at some point. And they're dying with that land. And if they die with that land, it goes to the state, and Bill Gates comes in, slithers in, and gets the land. So what I need is black males who are able to team up with the black farmers that are getting older. And I need y'all to get control of that land.
We don't know where the black farmers are at.
That's because I told you, they Willie Lynched in the mind. They got a mulatto speaking for them. It's a real scary thing. But I am going to be showing you guys how to take on and reclaim some of that land.
I got a listing for Jordan.
You have a list, Sister Nisa?
Yes, I went online and I have a listing of because I called the National Black Farmers Association in Washington. I was so disgusted I had to sweep my lungs up off the floor. So I just decided to say fudge it, and I started looking up the black farmers locally. So I found a listing, and what we're going to do is when we meet in the park again, I'm going to invite them to come to the park with us, as well as some of the black-owned contractors, because they're really trying to take over the West End, and so we want to keep the West End black. So when we do our next event, like in the park, I'm going to invite them to come out so they can meet Miss Neeta, so we can talk about some of the farmland, because I have 46 acres of land in South Carolina that was left to me and my sister. So we're going to be talking about trying to do some stuff on that land as well. So I got the listing. I can send it to you when we get off the line.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think we can still say the West End?
If you don't save the West End, you have nowhere to go. It is Harlem.
That's all we got left.
But what I'm asking, I mean, haven't they regentrified it already?
Let me tell you, if you don't save the West End, what happens?
We don't have. That's not. Well, at least that's the back.
Now, ask white folks. Go to a white person and say, "Do you think you can save Alpharetta?" What they gonna tell you?
Hell yeah.
They say, "Well, there's a lot of black folks moving into Camp Creek. Do you think you can save Fayette County?" What they gonna tell you? Fayette County will always be there.
Yes.
But I will say this. I have did some research on that Fulton County. A lot of that property has already been claimed.
Yeah.
But what's up under the what's up under the stuff that they've gotten? If you were playing poker and you found out that Leroy Brown has some dice up his sleeves, what would you do?
You would kill him.
Exactly. So you got a bunch of people that cheated you out of your land. The way that they did it, was they teamed up with police. Police pick you up. All they gotta do is hold you for a year. Your mama lose her house because she put it up for you. All they gotta do is violate your probation and take your mama's house. So you have a bunch of people that cheated to get the land. If you want the land back, you gotta scare them. So this land that they own West End used to be a plantation. That means there are Negro bones up under there. You tell the white folks that you're coming out to claim the land because there are Negro bones under that land. It used to be a plantation. Then white folk gonna be like, I want no parts of this.
What about
that's that Lake Lanier water, ain't
what you say, John?
That's the Lake Lanier water. Yeah, it
it?
is.
The Lake Lanier
Lanier water.
right there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they keep trying to keep you guys from talking about Lake Lanier. Because if you really talk about Lake Lanier and the stuff the white folk did on a regular basis, white folk be like, okay, you'll be like California. White folk be like, I'm so tired of these Negroes talking about Lake Lanier. We really need to give them back their land.
So do you think that's what's going on with Lake Lanier? Why so many people are drowning and all of that type of thing?
Ma'am, our ancestors don't kill white folk wherever they at. But the thing is that in order to reclaim the land, you have to be willing to put white folk business out there in the streets every single day. Just like they put your business in the street. White folks are only afraid of two things. That's a loss of money and for their stuff to be exposed. That's why they try so hard and spend so much money to hide it. So you want to expose them on a regular basis.
Right.
There you go, the objective.
Who are these demons walking their dogs in West End? Why can't
Man,
y'all
that's
not
crazy.
They all over. They all over the
They
West
all
End.
over. Walking trail, running trail, bicycle trail.
When did white
Belt
folk
line.
get comfortable enough to smile at a Negro male and not clutch their purse? I blame the males now. Y'all not getting
Negro
white
males
folks
start wearing
purses.
purses.
Their purses now.
True.
Negro males got purses on now.
I have this.
True.
I stepped in boo-boo face when people come up to me. Why are you talking to me? I know you're a demon. You know you're a demon. What do you want, demon? And they keep on walking because they know they're a demon. But y'all be like, okay, well, you know what? They not that bad. Yeah, they are. They used to literally hold the arm of a 1-year-old child while the mama was screaming and use a Bowie knife to cut the baby's skin off while the baby's screaming. Yes, I make them know that every single time I see them.
Right.
Y'all letting them forget way too much stuff. That's why they feel comfortable running down your street at 10 o'clock at night. Becky should never feel comfortable
Right.
running down a Negro street at 10:30 at night.
That is true.
That's the
I'm
truth.
not gonna lie about that. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
true.
I tell a lot of brothers that, and they look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm just so militant. I'm like, man, y'all let. And when they be out there and they be like, "How you doing?" I just be looking at them. I'm like, "Don't speak to me."
Yeah,
That's
we can't
because
go.
white folk done told them Becky is the prize.
Yeah, we can't go in their neighborhood. Let us go in their neighborhood.
Take your bulldog into Alpharetta and run down the street, OJ,
Right.
and see what happens.
See what happens.
Every Negro running down the street at 10:30 at night is OJ.
Right.
You take your bulldog and run down Roswell, you going to jail.
You going to jail.
You ain't
So
a dog.
why does Becky feel so comfortable?
You right, because we
smiled
accept
in Becky's
that.
face.
Yeah, we
Right.
accepted it.
We accept that. And even in the Black Power movement, we got a lot of brothers wearing unks and stuff, and wearing the shirts, the Garveys and all of that, the Malcolm X's, and then they got white wives. And I just spoke to some of these brothers like, man, you got
You gotta expose them. You gotta expose
Yeah,
them.
I said,
So
bro,
the
you got you a
traitors.
white wife. They'll get mad at me tomorrow. Oh, she know her place. She know what I'm about. That don't mean nothing, but you put an enemy on your own.
That mean I tell them immediately, you are into bestiality. Get away from me.
Remember when the white woman showed up to the Malcolm X festival with the Malcolm X?
They invited me to a Malcolm X event back in 2018, and a demon walked past me. She started over on the other side, walked all the way past, I know a good 2,000 Negroes. When she got over to me, I told her she had a shirt on that said black to my roots. Why do you, whoa, Becky. I don't care what your name is, Becky. Why you got a shirt on called black to my roots? That say black to my roots. Well, I bought the, Are you black to your roots? We had a class right there. But do you want me to take it off? Yes, I do. So she went to her car and she took off that shirt because you are disrespecting me, and every black male that let you pass by them can no longer say that they respect queens if they let you pass by them with a shirt on that said black to my roots. And I hold black males accountable. Any black female that calls herself being friends with a white female that's with a black male, you are not only have a low self-esteem, but don't let me ever hear you call yourself queen, because a queen would not let anybody usurp her authority like that.
What about white women that wear cornrows?
Well, to me, a white woman wearing cornrows is no different than Nicki Minaj wearing blonde Swedish hair down to her behind. They both mentally ill. But you're not finna walk past me with cornrows, and you're not finna walk past me with blonde hair without me telling you that you done lost your ever-loving black mind.
But a lot of men have not been woke yet.
I don't care if they woke. They can't kill me but once. So I'm going to say it before I leave this round.
I heard that.
But you know what I mean, right? They're not privy to the
information. I know what you're saying. Okay, yes, sir. Okay. But whose job is it to check black men?
My job.
Black man.
There you go.
Black man.
And if you can't check them by yourself, go get your fit. You just tell them Muslims to put down them bean pies to come and help you check these men.
Now, them the ones who marry white women.
Yeah, no. Now understand, they Allah told them they can have 4 people. But most of the Muslims I know, they got black females. They got a bunch of them, but they got black females. But you got some people that are walking around, and I'm not going to point no elbows, which I am, but they walk around in purple with gold fringes. Got white women.
Yep, that's them Hebrews. Man, they be tripping, man.
I'm going to need them to stop. They know the Bible left and right. Then you should know Numbers chapter 31.
Yeah, the brother was down here down in College Park. They was setting up, speaking out the Bible. They had a white dude out there with him. I said, man, you got the Wazungu with you. He told this my brother. He read about 5 scriptures.
Sure they wasn't Hispanic because they don't really like white people like that.
And they got to get them.
Because they should. Because man, they deal with Hispanics. They don't deal with no white people, man.
Wait. We got to have a conversation, sir. You know, I care very deeply for you since I done met you, but we got to have a conversation. What is Hispanic?
I'm talking about the Hebrew Israelites.
What is Hispanic?
Puerto Ricans black.
There are black Puerto Ricans and there are white Puerto Ricans.
Right.
There are black
Puerto Ricans I grew up with in Chicago, they black.
You got some white Puerto Ricans in Chicago just as white as all get out, sir. But the point is that in every culture, if it's a country, it's a culture. There are only 2 races, white and black. You're either black Mexican or you're white Mexican. The original Mexicans were black. The original Germans were black. What they did when they knew you were going to come into the school system is they had you, instead of them saying, we had to hire a bunch of black people, they made you change it to minority, and suddenly Asians with dog hair and Hispanics with dog hair was suddenly your yellow and brown brothers and sisters, so they still didn't have to hire your black behind.
So we don't have red, black, yellow, and brown ancestors.
If you see a red person with long hair and they got dog hair, that's a Spaniard that raped a black person to steal this country.
Right.
So it's just, remember, Willie Lynch said all they had to do was control the words you hear. So all we do as pastors is give you the words back. Those are Spaniards that you see that's crying over the country that was stolen from them. The original people of this country were black as we are, sir. So when you hear somebody saying they're Asian, That's a culture. That's not a race. When you hear somebody saying they're Mexican, that's a culture, not a race. You have Italians that say, I'm not white, I'm Italian. Stop lying to me, sir. You white. You got the same dog hair, the same dog skin.
What's your definition of a human or a race?
There's a white species and black species. Everything else is a mixture of the two. And white folks know this because it's in their code. They told you who was white, who was black, who was mestizo, and who was mulatto. Their codes tell you that.
But KENWARDO, so I want to tell you, KENWARDO, even some of the Hebrew Israelites in New York, they have white dudes in there.
Yeah, Hispanic, man.
Down by the West End train station, there's a white dude up there with the Hebrews.
I ain't never seen no white Hebrew Israelite. I have.
Miss Black. Can you
Yes, sir.
What does porn have to do? Is porn a weapon in this war?
I can't hear what you said, sir. What were you asking for?
Is porn a weapon in this war?
Porn, like men messing with the willy doodles and women jiggling around?
Pornography. You talking about pornography.
Oh, okay, good. That's what I thought. Men messing with the willy doodles and women jiggling around. Okay. Porn is no different than you sitting in nature and watching animals do what they do. It gets you excited and whatnot. What white folks did was use porn as a weapon. It puts Becky up there because Becky is like, I wonder what this Mandingo's Willy Doodle looks like. So they give Becky porn so that Becky can be like, oh, okay, well then let me go and get one of those. So now they teach Becky what to say in order to get you. The minute Becky comes, guess what she just took you from? She took you from a black female. So now you're no longer looking at your own species. You have become mentally ill just by sniffing Becky. You sniff Becky's behind, and now you don't know what a black female smells like. You done lost your ever-loving black mind. That's what porn was used for, to make you lose your ever-loving black mind. Now, you want to get some black porn? Then I think you and your black woman should sit down, should lay down together, watch y'all some black porn as long as y'all want to, and get your freak on. But the minute you bring Becky into it, both y'all done lost y'all mind.
As long as you keep it black.
As long as you keep it black, you can do what you want to do.
That's right.
Because remember, the only thing that sex is not for your pleasure. Sex is for procreation. But in order for you to achieve procreation, you got to get your blood from your brain down to your willy doodle. In order for her to achieve procreation, she got to get her hormones from her brain down to her coochie.
Right.
And then you guys can do what you need to do. So whatever you need to do, look at the sunrise, watch the bees and the birds, whatever gets y'all hot and bothered, get to procreating. But keep Becky out of it. And keep Josh out of it too.
Right. I agree with you 100%, sister. Keep them out of our business. I'm gonna read one more code. One more code.
He wanted me to read one more code.
One more.
And
get out of here. Okay, 1816.
1816. You like 1816, okay. That's why I put so many 1816s in there, just for brothers like you. Teach them boys, teach them. When y'all meet them young males and y'all see them 15-year-olds out there, y'all throw them codes, black their eyes with them.
That's right.
1816.
Okay, say, and if any free person of color commits the offense of what is inveigling?
Insurrection. What is it?
Inveigling or enticing anyway.
It's called inveigling. Inveigling or enticing.
Okay, inveigling or enticing any way, any slave or slaves for the purpose of and with the intentions to aid and assist such slave or slaves, leaving the service of his or her owner or owners, or in going to another state, such persons so offending shall for each and every such offense on conviction be confined in the penitentiary at hard labor for 1 year, and at the expiration of their imprisonment shall be sold to the highest bidder as a slave for and during the term of their natural lives.
Now, that's two people. That is Harriet Tubman, and that is you and the other gentleman. That's what you guys are doing. You are enticing slaves to leave the subjugation of white people and find a black mind. That's the same thing Harriet was doing. So if you entice a black person to leave themselves, to no longer believe themselves to be the property of the United States and suddenly want to be free, that is why they arrest you, put you in 23-hour confinement, because you have literally stolen their property from them. And that is why when you guys are teaching, you're like, well, I can do rap and I can do all kinds of stuff. They don't say nothing. But the minute I start teaching people, suddenly now police stopping me, all kinds of, that's because you are enticing away their property. There are black males listening to you guys.
Right.
That's like, man, I agree with him. That makes you Henry Tubman.
Right.
You know, you may not be Harriet Tubman, but you're Henry Tubman.
So that's just
and
like,
you are a threat to them.
That's just like us getting one of these young gang bangers off the streets.
Yes, you have to remember, gang members they not going in and filling out applications for their guns. They get their guns from the police lockup.
Right.
So if crime in black communities were to drop by 90% tonight, crime was to drop by 90% tonight, what is one of the first things that will happen?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Less police?
Less police. Thank you. Who said that?
It's Brother John.
Go on, Brother John. Yes. Police officers would immediately, starting tomorrow, begin losing their jobs. So who benefits by crime continuing to be 120%?
Government.
Police officers. They get to stand around and milk the clock.
Right.
So they're not finna let crime go down. There ain't no politician finna let crime go down. The only person whose job it is to make crime go down is a black man. It is you guys' responsibility to make sure that females don't get in your way when you're doing it too.
You know what, sister? And that's why I say we have to fight a war for black against black to get black back black. And the brothers, we got to wage war and actually get these brothers to start being useful. If the brothers is not a part of the revolution, a part of the movement, a part of the struggle, then I consider him as the enemy. Because he could be used against us.
Remember, brother, not many people want to die. So what they do is they say, well, we don't want to die, but you have to give them something to fight for. So let's say you have a guy that you say, come on, brother, put on this revolutionary garb and let's go out here and teach our people. He's like, man, I ain't with that stuff. But plan coming to kill your mama. Oh, they better not mess with my mama.
Right.
You just gave him something to fight for. He don't care nothing about somebody else's mama, but they better not mess with his mama. So bring his mama into it. Man, they coming to take your mama house. What? That's where I go to live. Make it personal for them. That's what white folk do. So when y'all coming at them and I'm talking to y'all, I'm not talking to y'all about something that happened to Huey or Fred or anything like that. I'm talking to y'all about stuff that's happening with y'all right now. If I want y'all to fight, I'm finna tell y'all how they coming for y'all. And that's how you do these boys. That's how you do these girls. The reason that girls wear hair down, white girl hair down to her butt, is because in 1990 she couldn't be a video garden tool because Becky was the one on the video. So she said, if I'm going to be a video garden tool, I got to have hair like Becky. They're wearing these front lace wigs so that they can get y'all attention away from white girls. And you be like, well, I want me a sister with natural hair. But the people whose booties y'all looking at got lace front wigs. So they like, oh, well, I got to put that on too. Not y'all personally, but y'all know.
Yeah.
It's too many guys that are looking at the booties of females with little waists, big booties, and lace front wigs. So the natural sisters are saying, let me go and get a perm so I can get me a man.
Right.
Y'all breaking these sisters that's trying to stay strong.
Let me ask this.
On their side, on the same side, I tell them, you got a brother that wants to take care of you, take care of your children, and you want to go and lay up with thug who won't even get you a Big Mac at Happy Meal for your child. Man, come on now.
Yeah.
Make it make sense to me. So we're literally not understanding each other, and politicians are simply putting us each in a room and saying, well, he said that you ain't nothing. Well, she said you ain't this and another. And they pitting y'all against each other. So every chance you get, make sure she know, I like your natural hair.
Yeah.
And make sure her daughter hear you say it.
Yeah.
I like your natural hair. You rocking that pattern.
I was gonna say, why is it that sisters, well, now I ain't gonna say sisters, black women that's with white men wear their natural hair, but they don't with us?
That's because white males have the slave master syndrome. So they treat their female Negro concubine very well. They will take their female Negro concubine because she's their pet. Just like you're the pet of Becky. Becky uses you for two things, either to piss off her white parents or to impress her white friends. So white males say, look, I must be something because this Negro female chose me over a big willy doodle black guy. I must be something else. That makes him feel he's better than you. And if he can take somebody that you think is good, so let's say a Serena, this guy goes in, he knows he got to have money to get her. Because if not, she's going to run into you and she's going to be looking at your feet and your booty like you be looking at other people. So he knows what he has to do to get that concubine. Just like Becky knows what she has to do to get that mandingo. PW both have told you they both work together to separate you from the black male from the black female. That's their job. The only person whose job it is to stop them is you and that black female. Y'all gotta see the game. And y'all have to determine we not finna fall for the banana in our tailpipe. That's what they're afraid that you guys are going to do, because that's what they saw you do in the 60s. That's what they saw you doing in the 70s. So they simply came in the 80s and said, let's stop that. Let's give them both money to be a part.
Right.
And money is a powerful weapon.
I see the game. You're right.
But remember, if you see the game, you're not just working on adult females. You're letting them know that they are beautiful in front of their daughters.
Yeah.
Because she will do her hair the way her mama does her hair.
Yeah.
And you make her mama think that natural hair is beautiful, then her mama's going to make her say that natural hair is beautiful. The mother is the first teacher. You see a young male talking about somebody's hair, be like, that's the hair I want. That's the hair I want right there.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And you guys are part of teaching those children how to get their black minds back because they've lost their black minds. And only you guys can help them get it back. And if you need to check a female, then go and find a Black Power female to come and check her.
Right, right. That's right.
What about a Black Power sister wife?
Yeah, I'm saying black females can check black females.
Right.
And we can do it in a respectful way so that she knows that she is beautiful without that lace front wig. And I see you smiling. I see you smiling. And take them tarantulas off your eyes, baby. We not in drag.
Oh man.
No,
I need you to take the tarantulas off.
I slid the sister wife in there. You know what I mean? I just slid it in there.
We gonna get them multiple females, ain't you? All right. Let me just be real with you. Now, let me be real with you. In the 70s, they had y'all thinking that to be a pimp, you had to have a bunch of females, and you had 3 females or 2 females, and you only last 3 minutes. When you sleep, they gotta still take care of each other. And then they decide, you know what? We're pretty good at this without him. Let's get rid of him. That's the mistake y'all made. I'm finna tell you. That's how a bunch of them got together because y'all was asleep.
I tell you the truth, sister, I don't know about that. I had been on some forums and these females asked, and they had a post about females sleeping or touching or experimenting when they had sleepovers. You know, so that started when they was young.
Yeah, but let me just tell you, everybody wants to know when your little wiggly doodle is doing this thing, you want to know what that thing do. When they little stuff is jiggling, they want to know what that stuff do. That's experimentation. But programming is different.
Right.
Programming is in stone. So when that man says, we all gonna be together, they're like, well, I'll do anything for my man. But once you sleep, that's 2 females you didn't satisfy. And let's be real, that's 2 females you didn't satisfy.
Now, I mean,
they all in the same bed.
I'm not talking about this whole everybody all oil wrestling. No, I'm in a relationship with her, and I'm in a relationship with her. Not us in the threesomes and none of that. I'm not into that.
But sir, it doesn't matter if they in 2 separate states. It's still a threesome. Believe me, them women know about each other. That's why they get together and talk about you like a dog.
Next door in the same house.
You still in a threesome. You could have one in England and one here in the United States. You still in a threesome. Because at some point, them women.
I meant sexual threesome.
You still in a sexual threesome, sir? Because the men.
Well, we in a big old orgy then, because half these people not even faithful.
And that's the problem. That's the thing. That's why they're able to make so much money off of abortion, off of the entertainment industry, because they made everybody swing like them.
Yeah.
And then they made money off of all of it. Because the minute that you take your willy doodle and put it in another female, you have violated the female that you're with. You have mixed she may as well be having sex with that other female because y'all all mixing y'all fluids. If you get something from one of them, you're about to give it to the other one. That's how they were able to spread AIDS. The minute you have sex, whether you know it or not, every time you have sex, you are creating little bitty tiny tears in your willy doodle, your foreskin, and the little willy doodle up under there. Every time she has sex, you're creating little bitty tears in her vaginal area. So you're mixing a lot of stuff without even knowing it. That's why the bond between a black male and a black female is so important. Because you guys are exchanging energy and fluids. But mentally, if they make you mentally ill, You're taking your fluids and saying, my fluids don't just belong to you. My fluids belong to some other people too. That's when you're getting into some stuff that really is messing, causing chaos in our tribes. And that's why we have chaos. It's not just sexual chaos, it is mental illness. And until we understand the mental illness that has been bred into us, we can't fix it. You are a king, you have a queen, not two queens. Two queens can bring down a kingdom. But you and your queen together can build an empire.
I need to be something else, not a king.
Even, sir, you could be anything you want to be as long as you're building something for black folk.
That's what I'm saying. We need our brothers to start absorbing the sisters. Sisters have to be absorbed. And I really do think all the brothers that's serious, that actually get up and work, that's with the Black Power movement, should absorb sisters and at least have two sisters. Minimum. Two. Minimum. And now they really doing something for the black community.
Okay.
We start getting them under the umbrella.
I appreciate that, sir. But now, you have two black females. Now, what white folks did was they took away the nature of things. Nature creates a male for every female. But the minute you say that a male should have two females, you have created an imbalance. And that imbalance will come back to bite you. And it keeps coming back to bite you because elders are not getting through to you guys. If you create a imbalance, it will come back to affect you and your children and grandchildren.
I seen two men together in a relationship, and I have to help balance that off by getting two women.
Okay, go on with your bad self. You just keep your scale looking like that. I'm leaving.
I love you, sister. No, go ahead.
Over there, and then every time I'm gonna throw some dirt on that scale that's not quite right, and we're gonna get you back in balance.
Hey, Sister Neeta, where can we get this calendar before we end the show?
Yes, sir. At any point that you guys can, my number is on there. They can contact me at BHC Aberry, B as in boy, H as in Harry, C as in cat, A as in apple, B as in boy, E as in Edward, R as in R as in Ralph, and I as in Institute. Or they can just put in Neeta Black Panther School, and they'll see the books and the calendars.
Neeta Black Panther School.
I can't text it to me. I'm finna get off for her.
Yeah, just put in Neeta Black book, but you have to put in both E's or both C's, or white folks gonna put you in the loop that you're not gonna get out of.
I'm gonna send the information to the brothers.
Yeah, we'll text it to Mr. KENWARDO, and he can send it out to everybody.
Right.
But Neeta Black Books is how you get all my stuff.
Okay, man. You want to end the show, Brother Rebel?
Oh, well, go ahead, Rebel.
The great Neeta Black, Nisa Shabazz. We want to thank y'all for coming. We love y'all. We are definitely students. We at your feet, at your begging wish, whatever you need. We gonna do. We got y'all.
Okay, Black Power, and with the same here. We're here. We're so glad to be a part of your family, and let's just make it happen.
That's right.
That's beautiful. And I know y'all gonna be on Queen's Law, Think Champs Queen's Law.
Yes.
So it's gonna be powerful.
Definitely.
So
absolutely.
Any last words to the people before y'all get out?
Well, just want to say we love y'all. We appreciate y'all for having us on. Because like I said, I'm a student under Miss Neeta, and we're just here to try to educate our people and wake our people up, because it's just getting worse every day. I mean, this just keeps getting worse. So we got to reach them. We got to wake them up, especially our sisters, because I see so much stuff out there in the daytime when I'm working until it makes me sick. So I'm so happy to be a part of the Sisters Forum that's coming up. So when we educate the sisters, then the sisters can educate, the brothers, and we all just educate each other, And so we're here as well. Whatever y'all need, just let us know, because we're revolutionaries, so we will make it happen.
That's right.
We know.
And we thank y'all so much for, having us on. I know we had some difficulties last night, but that was that was nothing but the devil. But we stump the devil and keep it moving.
Right.
Still made.
Yes,
Still
yes.
made.
So yes, sir. So we really appreciate y'all, and so we look forward to moving forward and keep it moving and doing the work in the community. And I also, before we ended, we lost our lady president, Queen Sassy, from Division 421 for the UNIA, and so just wanted to ask everyone to send out some positive energy as she transitioned to her realms, and let her know we love her and we miss her, but we know that she's here with us. And so we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, our condolences. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Sister Nisa.
Nita Black.
All right. Thank y'all.
Peace to the
Thank
queens. Thank y'all for coming through.
All power to our people.
All power to the people.
All power to the people. Black power.
Black power.
Oh,
Black power.
Black power.
Look, perfect time.
Hey, brother, knowledge. When
Yes,
the
sir.
Sister said, "Can I ask? I have to ask you permission for." I said, "Now that's the kind of sister that we got to be willing to live, kill, die for." And if she breed more sisters like that, man, which that was in her divine feminine. I got quiet. Like, boy, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Give out your info.
Oh yeah, y'all can reach me at Aesthetics Apparel. That's my brand, ESTHETIKS Apparel. Lavish lifestyle apparel, beauty and art. So y'all check out Aesthetics Apparel, Facebook and Instagram. You can also check out my custom apparel shop, Elite Wardrobe Shop, ELITE Wardrobe Shop, Facebook and Instagram. Any questions, concerns, call me 404-913-7165. Peace.
Peace to the God. Us.
Peace out. Yeah. You can find my apparel line on Instagram, Canless Apparel. As far as our natural product line on IG, that's Shelly _ Sun Goddess _ Sun Goddess _ Sense. And you can find us on this our website, Shelly products.com.
Banger.
Find me on Instagram, Black Power Banging 55, YouTube, Black Power Banging, and Rebels Roundtable. Getting fed, homie.
All right.
You know what I mean? Preferably find me at Rebels Roundtable.
Right.
That's home. Yeah, that's
Atlanta Division 421 on all social media. You can call me 678-631-9404. Race first.
Race first.
Yeah, and I'm Rebel with a Cause, Rebel Vision, television, YouTube, soon to be everywhere. We gonna really post it up in rebelvision.com. And we out of here. Peep them black codes. Big up for Nisa and Neeta for coming through. Great queen mothers, revolutionaries, the black codes, baby. We gonna get it in again. Thanks for coming to Rebels Roundtable. We out of here. Peace to the gods.
Peace.
Us.
Masterminds rise.
I got the mind of a king, should really protect them. Everybody talking, but Rebel really the next one. I got the mind of a king, spread to never take this. Slavery, fake hip-hop, you dead if you were racist. I got the mind of a king, you could never replace this. Blood from the mud, no love, so I'ma say I got the mind of a king, I know where I am from now. I'ma wake 'em up, you keep 'em sleep, it's up to me. I got the mind of a king.